at Catholic Social Services. And of all places, the flyer was in the bathroom at Catholic Social Services, and I wrote down the number. And I called him, and I talked to Blair, and met him at the library, Ypsi Library, downtown Ypsi. And that's when I first got introduced to Washtenaw literacy. And it took me like 3 times to get started. This was over a course of, like, say, 92 till 2011 is when I really had become committed.
Yeah.
You know, I stopped and I started and I stopped. So I got to do it myself. That's what kind of kept me just sticking to it. I just hate that I've lost out on a lot of things in life. Now it's time to get them back. So
That's good.
you may go out there in the world and the world beats you up, so to speak, but if you come back to it, to make it to the other land or promised land, if there is one, you know, you have to have faith that there is. But to be able to have confidence to go into a job, and, you know, even if I don't want the job, I'll be smart enough to be able to get the job just by my being, I don't know if you want to say smart enough, you know,
Or being able to read the application.
or being able to read the application, and, you know, everything's computers nowadays, so I'm slowly doing that too. So
What do you want to be?
I don't know. I guess I want to take some college courses eventually. You know, I want to grow old and be a smart person. If you want to call
You
it
are
that.
a smart person.
Be able to tell a person my most intimate thoughts and be able to write them down correctly. That's basically it for me, you know, like I said, I have a lot of issues with, missing my son. You know what I mean? I just don't want him to look at me as in you gave up on me. You know, we got a lot of emotional baggage that I know will come. You know what I mean? But if I'm smart enough to handle the conversation or be able to think ahead, you know, because I know he's probably a smart kid.
Just keep in mind, too, that having a challenging time with learning to read does not mean that you're not a highly intelligent person.
Yeah.
Because the things that you have managed to do in your life without that ability kind of speaks to the fact that you are a smart guy.
Going great. I think it's going great. You know, I got some lazy issues, but that happens with everybody. It's just, you just have to fight through that laziness. Everybody has issues. You know, so my issue was just, you know, a lot of different things. World beats you up, that kind of stuff. But I'm ready to do what I need to do.
I think Rod has made some major improvements. When we first started meeting 2 years ago, if I was having Rod write something in a journal, it was difficult for either one of us to read it.
Yeah.
And now his writing has improved. It's easier to understand. Even if there's a misspelling, we are able to figure out exactly what he was trying to say, which is really important. In order to communicate something to anyone, you want to be able to not only say it out loud, but write it. So that's another avenue for you to express yourself. I think that's really important. And it's important for you to have these journal writings over time, so you can kind of look back and see, this is where I was, this is where I've been, and now this is where I'm at today.
Right.
And that's really, really important too. It can be a tool for you to use for communicating with family and with friends. The fact that you've been learning how to use the computer and you're able to look for friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
You have an email account and you can read email. These are all really important things. Plus, you've made enormous progress in reading,
Oh, yeah.
you know, and being able to sit down with a book and read it. And maybe you have some difficulty with specific words,
Yeah.
but for the most part, you're pretty much able to get through the material.
Yeah.
And when we first started meeting, I don't think that would have been as easy. It was definitely not easy for you.
I
As easy as it
skipped
is
a
today.
lot. Don't be embarrassed. Get over it and just, you know, fight to what you can, you know, fight till you make it. You know what I mean? It's this world ain't getting any easier for nobody. You know, and if you want to make an improvement in your life, you better start somewhere. For me, it was embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's just like I see people on the street and they're begging for, hey man, you got $1? You know, that kind of stuff. You ain't afraid to say that, but you won't say, can you help me read so I can get a proper job and I won't have to beg? You know what I mean? That kind of, I want to be able to, and everybody should be able to make a good living for themselves. Things come when they need to come. I'm not worried about that. You know what I'm saying? Now it's just a matter of just getting the basics so I can finish out the rest of my life. I guess I still want to say normal.
One of the things that I hear from you a lot is you talk about things that make me understand that you want to be more self-sufficient.
Yeah.
And you want to be able to take care of yourself and help other people.
Yeah. I want to be able to help somebody else.
Then that's the best part.
You know what I mean? You know, everything has to work together. You know what I mean? To try to achieve your goal. You know, and I feel if you help someone, someone helps you, all works out.